Hi there. My name is Emily Belknap, and I'm an adoption therapist. I have a private practice in Charleston, South Carolina called Bridgepoint Therapy. And I often use children's books in therapy sessions with kids, but have recently started a project just trying to see all the different books that are out there and decided, well, why don't I create some videos and share what I'm learning with other therapists who work with adoptive families or just adoptive parents or anyone interested in these types of books. So I went to my library, checked out a bunch, and I'm going to go through 4 specific books with you right now that talk all about adoption from China. So the first one is The Red Thread, an adoption fairy tale, which just like it says, it's a fairy tale about a king and a queen who feel a lot of pain in their heart, and they can't figure out where the pain's coming from. And they follow this, or they figure out it's a red thread that is coming out of their heart, and that's the source of the pain. So they follow this red thread and they go on a journey to a faraway place. And while it doesn't name China, there's a picture that kind of looks kind of like China or an Asian country. And then at the end of the string, or the red thread, is a baby. And so they bring the baby home, and the baby heals their pain. They never feel that pain again, and their hearts are filled with joy and happiness. So just a cute little story. The next one is Sweet Moon Baby. I'll try to get that right. And I loved some of the pages or lines in this story. So it starts off by saying, on a summer night, a girl was born in China and she was perfect. And I love that it puts in there that she's perfect, because I think a lot of times kids worry, was there something wrong with me? Was I not good enough? So I love that line. And then it goes in to explain some of what was going on with the birth parents, that they didn't have enough food, and they really wanted her to have a good life where she could read, have pretty things. So they were trusting that someone would be able to raise her and provide those things for her. And I love how the parents ask each other, do you think she'll remember us? So then they say goodbye to her, and it becomes kind of a fantasy story where she floats along the river and meets different animals along the way, and they kind of guide her journey. Meanwhile, there's a married couple who wants to have a baby, and they're doing all these things to prepare, like planting a tree in case the child wants to climb the tree in the future, and a garden, and getting books so that the child will have something to read. And then they follow this shooting star, and they eventually find her in the river and pull her out. And there's not much to the story after that, but the last page does talk about that the baby girl dreams about China, which I think is great to remember, that even though she doesn't remember all that happened when she was a baby, that it's still on her mind and part of her. So I really like that one. The next book is called Made in China, which is a story about a girl who was adopted from China, but her older sister starts making fun of her because they're sweeping together, and the older sister sees that the broom says Made in China and starts going around the house pointing out all sorts of different things that were made in China, and is making fun of her sister for it. So she goes to find her dad, and he talks about how she was made in China but with love, and they love her, and she also had a wonderful woman in China who really loved you, and it was hard for her to let you go, and we wanted you to be our family. Talks a little bit about how she got her smile from her birth mom. Doesn't use that word though, just says your mother in China. And how the girl will be with them forever. And they have a deep love. And Dad says, if you ever forget how much I love you, come back because I want to remind you. So it's another good story, but I think, just being mindful of the fact that the girl is bullied for being made in China, and kind of making sure that's the right book for your family at this time. And then the last one I want to share with you, I love this book. I'm actually going to be buying it to keep in my office because of some of the amazing points that it raises. So it's Star of the Week. And this book is about a girl who each week in her class, someone gets a chance to create a poster that says all about their life. And so her week is coming up. So she pulls out her memory box with lots of pictures and sees like a picture of when her adoptive parents came to China to adopt her and how happy everyone looked, and just other pictures of family and friends. It points out that she goes to Chinese school, and there's like pictures of girls at Chinese school with her, as well as a reunion of the other kids that were adopted from the same orphanage as her. But then she starts getting sad because she realizes that she doesn't have a picture of her birth parents. So then it gets into talking about how she misses them and thinks about them, and some of the questions she wonders, like what are they like? Why couldn't they keep me? And then maybe they're too young, maybe they didn't have enough money. The dad's trying to help her explain. And he says that he loves her birth parents very much too, even though he doesn't know them. It actually says we'll never know them. And so the girl decides to draw a picture of her birth parents and includes that. It also has a page where she's laying in bed, kind of wondering or worrying, are the other kids in her class going to ask her questions about adoption or her birth parents? Because sometimes she doesn't like it, but that it's okay to say that it's private because her parents have told her that it's her choice. So then she goes to school, does the project, and everything's great. The other kids loved it. So again, it raises some really important feelings and questions that a child might be thinking about. So that's why I really like this one. So I hope my video today was helpful, and I'll be doing some more to review a lot of other books that I've been able to find. Thanks so much.